Here with my friend Asher Underwood. We're in Denison, Texas right now, but for the past many years Asher's been out in LA doing his thing. Me and Asher have known each other for quite a while, since like 1995. We've been enjoying hip-hop together, I guess you could say. He lived down the street from me, and I would go and hang out, and he would just spin like every hip-hop record that existed at the time. Just like we would listen to him for hours and hours, you know. And there's probably only a small group of people that probably know more about Tupac than Asher does. Asher runs TruthAboutHipHop.com. He happens to have his hoodie on tonight, which is cool. We're going to talk to Asher tonight about hip-hop and stuff. So let's say that I have been living in the cave since like 1978.
Like Plato's.
Like Plato. So I keep hearing this word hip-hop after I come out of my cave, right? But I don't know what it is. So if I came up to you and said, can you tell me about hip-hop and fill me in about what it's all about? Like, what would you tell me?
History. To have a true understanding of hip-hop, you have to have a somewhat elastic paradigm in terms of consciousness and the ability to think big of hip-hop from, you know, its birth in the Bronx in New York, in the five boroughs, and, you know, social cultural art form that was really birthed through a history of struggle. Term the streets or the hood, communities of color, black and brown, marginalized structurally, historically, in terms of the birth and the development of the United States as a settler colony and then nation founded on theft of Native American soil, of which we sit upon today, and the backbone of slavery as an economic impetus for capitalism. The first mission of King James, which is the most translated version of the Bible in the world, was in collaboration with the Prince of Transylvania to colonize the New World and establish tobacco, land, and labor, which brings us to the current day. So hip-hop came out of that struggle, a long struggle for equality, for social justice, and it was birthed out of economically marginalized and impoverished communities such as the South Bronx, such as Brooklyn, such as Queens. You could say founding fathers, if you will, of hip-hop. They had a purpose to harness the energy of this street culture and give life to it, and it's a life of its own, it seems like, as well. So it's like the ball was put in motion and then it became a snowball effect.
So there's like this surface of what hip-hop might sound like, you know, with the certain kind of beat. Rapping sounds a certain kind of way, so there's a certain way it sounds which gives it its distinctive musical genre sound.
Right.
But beyond that and beneath that is almost like I think you were saying it's about moving towards everybody having an equal voice, equal opportunity, equal treatment, and those are kind of some of the foundations of what some of these forefathers or pioneers.
Definitely, you would say that from a foundational stance, foundational principles would be social justice, and equality is one of those foundational principles, as well as, you know, independence and economic independence, community independence, community policing. This was birthed initially in the Black Panthers, in some of the various Latino organizations and Native organizations that came out of the 60s, you know, in resistance to the Vietnam War. It reminds me of an interview I saw Bob Marley. The reporter is asking him, can the reggae sound be replicated? Is there a formula that anybody could apply to create reggae music? Can anybody be a reggae artist? Do you have to grow your dreadlocks? And you know, if you grow your dreadlocks and you play the sound a certain way, could you be a reggae artist? And he says something to the effect of that reggae is not, it's not just a sound. It is a sound, but it's also a feel. He said it's a feeling. It's a spiritual experience. And I guess the only other comparison I think off the top of my head is the connection with spirituals and gospel music, for example. Like gospel music has a clear sound, but can you separate the faith of the singer with what they're singing? Of course, somebody who's maybe not of faith or doesn't believe can sing a gospel song or a Christian song, but it still has an origin. That origin would be in psalms or scriptures or spiritual movements that birthed its use, you know. So I think hip-hop itself has its own trajectory and paradigm in terms of social cultural movement of a people and a continent, and all the different aspects that are birthed up or from and around it.
Anything that you can share about like how it affects you within, like who you are like as a person? Like has hip hop had an influence on that at all?
Hip hop has influenced my life tremendously, and I can't imagine what my life would have been like without hip hop, because it was such an integral part in terms of the relationships that I've cultivated, in terms of the experiences, some of the, you know, most incredible experiences and travels, and it's just been like the water of my fish aquarium or the air of my, you know, wind. I just don't know what life would be like.
So it's kind of like the matrix that you exist in.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of where I was getting at, is that hip hop influenced me as a person. Different hip hop artists and their lyrics influenced my thought process, changed my heart, literally changed my heart, and opened my mind to a different worldview and reality. It opened my mind to study different things that had effects internally on my spirit, on my consciousness, on my, you know, my brain waves and biorhythms. So yeah, absolutely, from within, hip hop has affected and influenced me. Just the music alone. I mean, there's memories, early memories I have. You know, 6 years old. The first hip hop song that I ever remember hearing was "The Freaks Come Out at Night" by Houdini. Some of my first albums were Tone Loc, Funky Cold Medina, the Beastie Boys' License to Ill, MC Hammer's first album. I remember I was 12 years old, and I was in the hood in Gainesville. First time I heard Too Short, The Ghetto, bumping out the back of a Cadillac on a weekend night. When it was just electric and vibing and like nothing that I had ever experienced up to that point in my life over in the side of the town that I grew up. That wasn't what our community was like, and it was different vibration. It was a different experience, and it, you know, it, no pun intended, it integrated me into the human family and changed the trajectory of how I grew up from early on. I mean, I was seven years old in first grade when I went to New York with my parents and seen graffiti for the first time. It was like, yo, this is cool. My mom was an artist, so I grew up with art, but I wanted to do different art. You know, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do it, you know, something that was with the times that I was experiencing. Even though I had like a cultured art background and went to the Louvre and seen like all this different stuff, you know.
So there's lots of expressions within hip hop. There's the rapping, the lyricism, which influenced the way you actually think from listening to rappers, and then the music itself.
Yeah, the music, the vibration of the music and the sound. As many music therapists know, sound and vibration has physical and biophysical responses to different chords, different harmonies, different notes, affect the body into consciousness. It can help somebody calm down. It can stop a baby from crying. Certain music can help people go to sleep. Certain music will help people wake up and get their day started. Music helps people out of depression. Certain songs have influenced people to not take their lives and to try to live another day. People who are influenced by Tupac often say he inspired them and gave them a reason to want to live and to be proud, no matter where they were, how poor they were, how black they were, how ugly or fat. Whatever it was that outcasted them. Outkast, another group, legendary group. It was a blend of soulful, thought-provoking, and lyrics with incredible sounds that can change your consciousness and your body.
So there's like the lyricism, there's the music, but then there's also the artistic expression in rap. So like within hip-hop, like all of these different levels of expression can happen within it.
Correct.
Okay. So is there anything else that you'd like to add about what hip-hop means to you or how it's influenced your life?
Ever since a kid, I love this thing called rap. I'd be like, yo, what is that? And that's a fact. I'll be right back. Like Back to the Future, cause we all was black. In Africa or Pangea, one continent, one familia. To all of mi gentes, todo del mundo. I kick a little something in Spanish so that you know. This is for my brethren that be mi hermano, y mi hermana. That's my sister, this my lingo from the gringo. Before my amigos, all my homies, you know what to do. We're gonna get through, so keep your head up, cause you know I stay true. That's verdad, realidad. Cause the land la tierra, for all the ancestors, the dios, and the bradas here, and the spirit from the cortisone of my heart. When I spark a start, I start chart. Estrella, estrella, I'm doing it for that. You know, that's why I spit raps. When I kick facts, bar after bar, take you to Mars, and then back to Venus. Got the whole team with us when we bum rush the stage. I'm kicking the rage. I'm doing what I'm doing now. You turn the page. That's what's up.
All right. We're doing this for you to give y'all a clue. So thank you so much, Asher, for the killer interview.
Oh, look at that. That's my punch right there, man. That's what's happening.
All right.
Good looking out, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Asher.